Hey, welcome back to my channel, Wileen Living with Kendra. I'm happy y'all decided to show back up again today. Well, let's go ahead and get into this topic. I'm talking about 3 ways I specifically have, checked to see if my potential bae, somebody I was interested in, like seriously, if they were kind of interested in the same team. Because now I don't know why it's so bizarre to me that now in 2023 people aren't so forthcoming with where they stand from their preference. You have a lot of support. I don't know, maybe it's dealing with the social fallout with their family, friends. I don't know. But in this day and age, I feel like if this is who you are, please let the potential person that you're dating or potentially going to be in a relationship with, let them know your history so they can make an informed decision to say, hey, yeah, I can do this, we're cool. Or hey, yeah, no, this is a little too much for me, I don't think I can handle it. And again, that's pretty much their decision to make. And I think it's very much so important that these types of conversations are had, right? So, number one, I have definitely brought this up during my dates. Specifically, keep in mind this is I've always asked this question. And I remember I was telling one of my good girlfriends at the time, I was like, hey, do you ask this when you're on dates? She was like, girl, don't do that. You're going to get banged in the face. I was like, I don't know who you're dealing with. But one, if they result to violence with merely asking a question, that's a problem. I wouldn't want to be with them anyway because I can't voice anything that comes to my mind. You should be able to talk about anything with your partner first and foremost. Two, uh yeah, I'm gonna ask this question because I need to know. Because when I didn't ask these questions, in hindsight, it's like, girl, uh no ma'am. So, when I transitioned to this area, I immediately was like, if you're going out with me after at least the third date, I gotta ask. I gotta ask because I like you enough to continue to go out with you and for us to kind of monopolize each other's time. This is a conversation that we need to have. I remember I asked this one guy, I was like, hey, let me ask you a question. And how I pose it, and keep in mind, it's all about how you frame this question. Because if you don't frame it right and you do it where it sounds offensive, you might rub some people the wrong way, right? So you're not questioning their masculinity, you're not questioning, anything of the sort. You just want to know because people have had experiences before you, right? And it's fair enough to ask about said experience, but you have to be willing to accept the answer, their response, hands down. If it's yay, cool. If it's nay, cool. You gotta be able to accept it, right? So this one guy, we was out to dinner and we was just geeking. And I was like, hey, can I ask you a question? Have you ever had this experience? So that's how I said this experience. And he's like, what? I was like, have you, back in the day in college, have you thought about it recently? Like, would that be something that you're into? This man skirted around this question. He did not answer it. He started laughing. He was like, no one's ever asked me that. And I was like, really? So I'm asking you now. So what is it? He just started laughing hysterically. I said, oh, okay. And keep in mind, people, I take your non-response or your silence as an answer for me. So that's me saying, oh, okay, so this is something that he has experienced. Because if you have not, you would have flat out said no. So that's where I took it. We hung out a couple of more times. And I was like, okay, cool. But I will say this, if you receive a response that is either on the extreme ends of the spectrum, meaning they're really nonchalant about it, they're avoiding responding, they don't want to answer it, they change the topic, I would say that's a yes. And if they are highly offended, highly taken aback, lashing out, that is a yes. I feel like when people have unresolved issues about their sexuality, they're still in a confused state. So they don't know how to process it. So they tend to lash out. They tend to be very dismissive. Um, so with that being said, just watch out for that. Okay. And the second thing that I will say I have done was when you feel comfortable enough, keep in mind this is someone where you have gone on enough dates to be like, you know what, I think I consider this person, like I like them, but I forgot to ask this question at the beginning of the stages. So if I ask now, they're going to be highly offended. Let me just see. So you can just say, hey, can I use your phone for something? People who are not doing anything, they don't guard their phones, right? And some people who do a lot of things, they're like, okay, I got this stuff hidden. They're never going to find it. I got 1,000 apps. Nobody's going to find anything. So let me tell you, if they have an iPhone, I have not done this. Everybody that, I've potentially dated has had an iPhone. Hold on, that's my printer. I'm not printing anything. I just tapped it. So what I've done is I've grabbed their phone, and if you swipe down just a little, a search bar will be available to you. And then you just type in something. Then you just type in particular apps that are geared towards same-sex attraction, right? And if anything that has been recently searched, it will pop up, right? If they have an app, that'll pop up. So you'll be able to see all of that. Thank me later, okay? But again, I tell you, if you are snooping and you want to find something, it will come to you. It will come to you, and be willing to accept whatever that is, negative or positive, okay? So that's number 2. Number 3. Now this is the one where I'm not going to take lightly because this is very serious to me. I know you guys hear this in the background. I apologize. It has to do with process, right? Okay, now we're back. So number 3, if the person is very aggressive towards you for no reason. So typically I found that men who are abusive, they are struggling with their sexuality. It's like, hey, I don't know what's going on there, but you are abusing this individual, specifically this woman, because you have not resolved the issues that are internal. She has nothing to do with your issues. So be it they have been sexually assaulted, they are struggling to say, hey, I like the same team. I don't know how to process my emotions, my feelings, so I'm going to take it out on you. Not to say that everybody is struggling if they are abusive, but I would lean towards heavily that they are, if they cannot keep their hands to themselves when it comes to a woman. They have something going on there. Okay. So those are my little quick little, is he, isn't he? These are the things that I found most useful for me, and they've, helped me out tremendously. So I hope you gathered some things that you can kind of stick in your arsenal for when you out here in these dating, pools and oceans, to just know that these are options for you. Okay. So if you have not liked, comment, or subscribed in any of my videos, I need you to go back to all of them and do so. Specifically, like and comment on this one. And also, if you have not done so yet, I need you to subscribe. How are you going to know when I start updating you on other things? Do it. Do it now. Until next time, bye. If the person is